Before we get to the movie, I want to talk about the last movie we watched together here in the basement, Pistol Opera.
Yes.
If you haven't seen our Pistol Opera episode, there's going to be a link to it at the end of this video. You can click on it and watch it. I've been thinking about this movie a lot and trying to ponder the reasons why I don't like it. And I finally figured it out. It was the actress who played Stray Cat. She's got no charisma. She's got no camera presence. Her performance is so flat. And worst of all, she's supposed to be this badass assassin, and it looks like she's never held a gun in her life.
I feel like Suzuki kind of likes all his women that way in his movies. He likes, his favorite woman is an enigmatic one.
100 Eyes had that quality, and she was much more interesting to watch and listen to.
There's a lot of his movies I have not seen. I am going to get more in-depth into Suzuki so I can talk more about him with seeing more than just the big two, Branded to Kill and Tokyo Drifter.
I've been wanting to watch the big two over again, but after watching Pistol Opera, I'm afraid I'm going to go back and watch them and now not like them.
You're going to see all the things you didn't like in Pistol Opera and be like, he's been doing it the whole time!
Exactly.
Suzuki!
I've got a bunch of movies that I've never seen before. None of you know what they are. Every episode I'm going to spring one on you. It might be good, it might be bad. We'll watch it on the old leather couch and then talk about it. Welcome to the basement. It's April. Are you looking forward to Easter?
Yes!
Well, today Easter's going to come a little bit early because you and I are going to an Easter parade.
Ha 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 ha! Fabulous.
Released in 1948, Easter Parade was directed by Charles Walters and stars Judy Garland, Fred Astaire, Peter Lawford, and Ann Miller. The songs were written by Irving Berlin. Gene Kelly was originally cast as the male lead, but broke his ankle playing volleyball before production began. He was replaced by Fred Astaire, who had been retired from movie making for 2 years at that point, but nevertheless was eager to accept the role.
His first retirement out of several.
Sid Charisse was supposed to play the Ann Miller role, but had to drop out due to torn ligaments in her knee and was replaced by Ann Miller.
What are these dancers doing to each other?
All right, have you seen this?
I've seen this a couple times. For a while on my old Amazon Fire Stick, there was an error where the movie would start, but the sound would start really slow. So the first song to start the musical was a tiny little nightmare till we could figure it out. And it was going, Happy Easter, Happy Easter. Dear Lord, stop this.
Satan, quit mocking the resurrection of Christ.
No, I won't.
You know who else loves a parade? The fun-loving entertainer that is represented by the object in this box.
Oh, why if it isn't Bozo the Clown?
That's right, you wind him up and he spins.
You could say that about me, too. Just not as well as dear old Bozo.
Well, put on your finest Easter bonnet and come join us on the old leather couch for all of the pageantry and singing and dancing of Easter Parade.
Ha-cha-cha.
Arthur Freed, finally out on parole.
New York, 1911.
A swell dandy strolls down Main Street, wishing everyone
Happy Easter, Happy Easter, Happy Easter.
mind your business.
He's buying some gifts for his favorite lady.
Here's a lid for my lady's dome. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
He goes into a toy store and he has fun with a boy and a whole lot of drums.
Plum crazy for drums.
You can play the drums too? Is there nothing this man can't do?
Retire successfully.
That's right. His name is Don Hughes, and he is part of the dancing team of Hughes and Nadine. Nadine Hale, that is. Don and Nadine have a show opening in Chicago next week.
Nadine ain't going. She's going solo.
He tries to convince her otherwise by telling her that it only happens
When I dance with you, two cheeks together.
Oh, they dance butt to butt?
It's all the rage, you know.
Don't go out there, Nadine. He's going to throw you off the roof. He doesn't want you working with anybody else. He's insane.
It only
Professor Johnny Harrow shows up. He's a handsome, slightly oily-looking man, and he's friends with Don and Nadine.
Oh, Johnny, what a darling. I know just the dress to wear him with.
I know just the room to neglect him in.
I signed that contract, Don.
You what?
I'm out of here.
Oh, I know it must sound terribly selfish of me, Don, but I've just got to think of myself.
Yep, you're right.
He goes on down to a local watering hole, Pastini's, to drown his sorrows in liquor.
I bet you know a lot about women.
I know all about women who pass out at the bar and who I have to drag out into the gutter at closing time.
I can boil down trouble into two classifications.
Yeah? What are they?
Women and their mothers.
Johnny comes there.
Look, Don, Nadine didn't mean all those things. She said you two belong together.
Nothing doing. I don't need her. I could pick any random girl and make her my dancing partner, and she would be just as good as Nadine. Here, I'll prove it. He marches right up to Hannah Brown, who just finished a little dance number.
I need a new dancing partner. I don't know how much you're getting, but I'll give you $100 a week.
$100?
Here's my card. Meet me at this place at this time, and we'll get right to it. Don has rented a rehearsal space. It doesn't look like this girl's going to show up, and it's good because Don was drunk last night. He made a bad decision, and he doesn't want to work with this girl after all. She shows up, and he finds out that she quit her job, so he's got to follow through with this. They start rehearsing, and she's terrible because she doesn't know her left foot from her right.
What idiot ever told you you were a dancer?
You did.
You did.
Well, sick burn, Miss Brown, but nevertheless. After practice, they're walking on the street. Oh, man. I used to have a subscription to Love Book. Why did I let that elapse?
I've never really danced before.
You're going to be fine.
I've only danced with tiny people and little dogs. What do you know? There's the Easter parade. That's where people dress up in their finest garments and promenade up and down the street. Don sees Nadine with her dogs. All eyes are on her, and he can't stand it. Next year, we're going to come to the Easter parade, and we're going to strut our stuff.
Every photographer in town is going to be breaking his neck to take your picture.
And no one's going to care about Nadine. Don wants to give her an entirely new stage identity.
There is no more Hannah Brown. From now on, you're Juanita.
They do their first dance number. Hannah's okay, but she's not great.
And she's got him in the corner for the 3 count.
There's one thing you mustn't do, and that is to get such a stranglehold on me. You see, it pulls me off balance.
And it collapses my windpipe.
You go change, we'll have dinner.
All right. May I bring my roses?
Yes, that will be your dinner. I'll be eating food. Johnny invites Nadine to lunch.
I won't inherit any of my father's money until I'm at least 55.
That's an odd arrangement.
It's also odd that your bow tie is made out of saltwater taffy. Unbeknownst to her, he's also invited Don to lunch.
He does what all good meddling friends do. Try to get the old couple back together.
Are you still going through with that crazy idea?
Crazy? Because I don't want to spend the rest of my life being a common hoofer?
Hoofer, okay. Got it.
Tell that seamstress you've got dancing with you to stop imitating me.
Imitating you?
She's biting my shit. You think this is a game?
Hannah is at the drugstore having the blue plate special.
Roast beef, pie, and milk. That'll be 15 cents.
Oh, all I've got is Confederate money.
Well, that's good here. I'm singing. Oh, wait, wrong musical.
Johnny runs into Nadine. No, Johnny runs into Hannah.
They meet cute in the entrance of the drugstore.
And it's raining. He goes to a fruiterer, purchases his big umbrella, and they walk down the street with a big umbrella. Johnny has a song to sing, and it's called this.
I'm just a fella with an umbrella.
That's all I am. I'm very shallow. Sparks are flying between these two.
Each fella with an umbrella. There's a time.
I would have ended her dancing career permanently.
I met a lovely girl, but then she fell down the sewer.
But Hannah goes back to Don. He's trying to retool the act. The Juanita thing was a bad idea. I need you to be yourself.
From now on, you're just plain Hannah Brown.
Her singing might be her best feature.
She sings... She sings a funny little song about liking pianos, and he says, "That's it." There's a song montage. The rise to prominence of Nadine and Hughes. No, of Hannah and Hughes.
All night long he called calls her Snooky Ookums, Snooky Ookums.
Yeah, he dates Snooky from the Jersey Shore. And she's a well-known Ookums. They audition for the Ziegfeld Follies. This is the biggest show in town. They make it into the show.
All of a sudden,
That was charming.
Nadine is going to be the top billed star of the Follies this year, and Hannah and Hughes are just going to be one more act on the card.
Don turns down the Ziegfeld gig. Hannah, we can make it on our own.
Now look, there are all kinds of dreams.
Most of them are phallic. Nadine, Hannah's out on a date with Johnny. They're thinking about food.
Salad Francois.
Why, what's in the salad? Why would the waiter just tell them when he can show them?
Salad.
What is going on, Tony? And also not show them.
Garlic. Perfume for a gourmet.
Have I mentioned I am in level 5 improv? I'm doing very well.
Mix, mix, toss, toss. Mix, mix, toss, toss.
Wax on, wax off.
Mix, toss, toss, mix.
Well, they don't order the salad. Johnny tells Hannah that he's in love with her. Hannah tells Johnny
I'm in love with Don.
she wants him to love her back, but...
Oh, he's taken me in his arms. But there have never been less than 700 people watching.
It's a very niche kink.
But it's not his fault.
Nadine's Ziegfeld show opens, and she does a show-stopping number about shaking the blues away that will knock you on your ass.
Away,
Aroo!
shaking the blues away, unhappy news away.
Blues will be shaken. Tony, I've been hypnotized by the tapping and the shaking.
That means it's working.
Don invites Hannah for an intimate dinner in his apartment, and she thinks this is it. I'm going to get into Don's pants. Or he's going to get in, we're both going to get in pants. But he still just wants to talk about business, and she gets upset. But don't you see, I want to be treated like a woman.
But you have never paid enough attention to it.
Looks like they're falling in love after all.
And now it isn't important anymore, that's all.
She just started playing the Godfather theme.
Important anymore, that's all.
Their show, Walking Up the Avenue, debuts. And it starts out strong when Don is stepping out with his baby.
Stepping out with my baby.
Steppin'. Look at all the steppin'. There's no denying he's stepping out with his baby. This movie is just one song and dance number after another. I don't know. I don't know if it works. Whoa.
Oh, he's gotten goofy on that gas. It's in the depths of an ether binge.
Stepping out with my baby. Bravo! We don't even need to see Hannah.
Hooray!
Tell her to go home. After that, we see a little number called We're a Couple of Swells.
So we'll walk up the avenue, yes, we'll walk up.
They named the entire show after this number. Show should be called Stepping Out With My Baby. Ooh, we no longer like the show, and it's Hannah's fault. The show is a huge success. Maybe even bigger than Nadine, we don't know. But they're going to celebrate by going to the Ziegfeld Follies and watching Nadine's show. Tomato. She does a song that has fantastic magazine cover set pieces. March Cosmopolitan, that's what the Fancy Marines do.
Damn you, McCall, you're a loose cannon.
Nadine decides to be a little devious.
She comes out and says to the crowd, my old partner Don is here in the audience tonight.
And perhaps we can persuade Mr. Hughes to do one of our old numbers.
That number we used to dance about only being getting and doing it when you're dancing with me. Remember that one? Come on, let's bring him up. And so Don has no choice but to get up and dance with her. Nadine, you're about to get cracked over the head with a champagne bottle because Hannah don't play. She already killed one witch. She can kill a second. Hannah is ashamed, and she leaves.
Goes back to Pastini's.
To the old bar that she used to work at and commiserate with her old buddy Mike.
Lullaby.
Yep, still here. Never left. Sleep under the bar.
I sleep on an old army blanket in the storeroom where I sit and ponder women and their mothers.
Gosh, you look pretty.
Gosh, I'm lonely.
Yeah, how does it feel to be a big success?
Hey, do you want a bunch of free liquor?
No, next time for me.
She's drowning her sorrows in sorrows. That's not how you're supposed to do it in a bar.
She makes her way back to the hotel only to find Don waiting for her.
Come on, I want you back, baby. The thing with Nadine doesn't mean anything. I don't believe you. What has all these months meant nothing?
And locks him out of the hotel room. He says he's going to stay outside that door all night, but the house detective says otherwise. Scram, buddy.
So Hannah thinks that he abandoned her.
I haven't slept all night.
It's all the pills, but I'm not supposed to talk about that. The studio doesn't want me to, but it's the pills. She finds out he's auditioning a new dance partner. Why, he's not going to do that. She's his dance partner.
If I loved someone, I'd find a way to let them know it.
Well, it's different with a man. They can...
P standing up.
And she goes right to his place and barges in, and she tells him, you and I have a date. If you recall, 1 year ago, you said that we were going to go to the Easter parade together, and that's today. So get dressed and let's get moving.
The photographers are out there waiting to get a snap of Hannah because she is the loveliest girl in the Easter parade.
Tony, have you ever been to an Easter parade?
I have not.
I guess they probably don't do them anymore.
It still happens, but
probably in the South.
It's a more niche thing.
Yeah, I bet it happens in Savannah, Georgia.
It feels like it's got some lifeblood with the Derby.
Yeah. The songs and the dancing were impeccable, of course. It doesn't get much better than this.
It is a solid Freed unit musical.
Fred Astaire's weak spot has always been his acting ability. He never needs to be a great actor, but he's always been far less than great. But in this, and this is in the late 40s, it seems like he's really grown as an actor and has gotten a lot better.
He's definitely matured and learned some Hollywood and gone away from his vaudeville roots. He tends to take characters that are like him or make characters like him, and that delivers the best possible results because he's an intensely charming guy.
Yeah.
I was astounded to find out in my little bit of post-movie research that at one point Frank Sinatra was going to be in the Peter Lawford role.
I heard that too, yeah.
Which would have been interesting.
In 48, definitely. It was before Sinatra took over the world. The thing about Peter Lawford is he's just a face and he's a voice. There's not much else there. He's rather boring, but he's got poise and style, and he's like
very sophisticated.
He's a society figure. You know, he hobnobs with the Rat Pack and the Kennedys, and this was before all that.
He's kind of an Aldi Cary Grant.
Yeah. Also, the character of the professor seems extremely peripheral to the story. Johnny is this kind of X-Factor who never really X-Factors. He's a monkey wrench that doesn't throw itself into anything.
Nadine's interested in him, but he didn't lure Nadine in. The most active thing he does is he crushes on Hannah, tries to woo her as best he can.
Pushes her more toward Dom. The slow-mo section of the Steppin' Out number, look at how much faster they're going than him, and they're maintaining that.
I think it's a process shot.
Okay. That and the Shaking the Blues Away, those are the two highlights of the whole movie.
Shaking the Blues Away is just raw Ann Miller talent. That's her number, and she shreds it.
And what's special about it, she's not only singing to the camera, she's dancing to the camera. The camera is her dance partner. The camera moves and she moves. You can't take your eyes away.
I like Judy Garland in this part. Her nervous comedy energy paired with Astaire just holding it together. I'm amazed that this is the only movie they did together because they share scenes really well.
Yeah, she's a great comedian. She's a dynamite performer. She's not as glamorous as the movie wants us to believe she is.
That's the mistake Don makes, is that he tries to put her in a glamorous place. And it's like, no, she is just a firecracker and a darling.
That's what sets this apart from a movie like, say, 42nd Street, where he takes a nobody and she gets elevated to the lead and he pushes her and you gotta do it. And this is like, well, I'm not gonna push you. I'm going to step back and I'm going to let you be yourself. And that's going to be our blueprint for success.
I'm going to work with the things you do well.
And I'm not going to try and put things there that aren't there.
Yeah.
Well, the Easter parade has reached the end of the boulevard, but it is not the end for us because we still have to do Seen It.
Oh my God, I've seen it, and you won't believe it.
Dr. Lipkin, The Court Jester, a timeless classic and maybe one of the greatest comedies ever written. Seen It.
Seen it. I'd have to agree with the doctor. It is such a good hybrid of adventure and musical and comedy. Danny Kaye's physicality is amazing, especially when he's sword fighting with Basil Rathbone, who is no slouch. He was dueling Errol Flynn in Robin Hood.
Basil Rathbone, Errol Flynn, and Doug Fairbanks were like the fencers of Hollywood.
The hypnosis gag, where he goes from thrashing the sword all over like a madman to going into this elegant duel, is incredible.
He not only brings that precision to the comedy bits, but he's so human, and he's such a sympathetic character that you're rooting for him from the first second he comes on screen.
I love his romance with Glynis Johns.
It almost kind of messes with gender roles a little bit. She's an officer in this militia, and he, as he says, he does the women's work. Their relationship kind of has these opposite roles.
Yeah.
And that's interesting. You don't expect that in 55?
Laurie Subert says, Tim and I just watched the original Gone in 60 Seconds, 1974, last week. It is a complete 70s-orama. Seen it?
Yes, it is that, and I have seen it. This is a weird movie.
It is very much a movie made by a car guy.
For car guys.
Because the cars are the stars of the movie.
Yes, and the car chase scenes, the car mayhem scenes, obviously take up 99.9% of the budget. The rest of the movie, the non-car parts of the movie, look like they were made for $40 and a box of donuts. So much of the dialogue is just voiceover. They didn't even do scenes with boom mics. And then you see these car chases. This is a huge leap forward for the language of this type of filmmaking. You can see these techniques and these tropes come up in The Driver and The Blues Brothers and Cannonball Run.
If you want the world of 70s automobiles driven fast, you're going to get everything you want.
The next couple movies we're going to talk about were DVDs that were sent into our P.O. box by our generous viewers. First one is The Rebel, featuring a man named Tony Hancock. Seen it.
As much as I love British comedy, I was not aware of Tony Hancock, and I feel like that's a black mark against me.
Yeah. The scene for me that really drew me in was where he finally gets to Paris. He stows away on a garbage scow or something.
Yeah, he books passage and they knock the head off the Venus. Don't say nothing about head, one piece of concrete.
So he's in this Parisian pub and he's hearing these artists talk. One of them, who is Oliver Reed.
Oh God, was that Oliver Reed?
You didn't notice that?
I didn't catch that.
I think Oliver Reed's first screen performance.
Of course, Oliver Reed's first movie, he's in a bar.
We see Tony Hancock, and the character's name is Tony Hancock, I believe. And he hears them talking about art, and you see his interest peak. He's just kind of moving closer to him. And we see that this guy's not just a buffoon. He is someone who truly loves art.
Yes.
And that really makes him into a human being. It's a nice little film. It's sort of like The Secret Life of Walter Mitty meets The Horse's Mouth with a little bit of being there thrown in.
Another disc that viewers were kind enough to send to the P.O. box is this, The Batwoman, from 1968.
This is a Mexican luchador adventure film. There's a man named Dr. Williams who is murdering luchadors and stealing their pineal fluid so he can create a fish man.
Exactly. He's going to create the ultimate amphibious man.
And the only person that can stop him is the bikini-clad Batwoman.
Who is rich and fighting crime, not because her parents were murdered, but just because it's the civic-minded thing to do.
And I must say that her badassery is somewhat undercut by her overly girlish run. Well, the Batwoman throws acid in Dr. Williams' face and basically turns him into Two-Face.
Yes! I thought that too.
La Mujer Murcielago.
En color.
There's a place you can go that is its own parade of wonderful things, and that's our website, welcometothebasementshow.com. There's the endless parade of our episodes. There's over 300 of those, and you can watch all of them on the website. And there's a short little parade of PayPal donation buttons that you can click on to make a one-time or rolling monthly donation to support Welcome to the Basement. We need all the Easter finery that we can get, and so your support is appreciated.
Do you see a hat on that man's head? No, you do not.
Bonnetless.
Bonnetless, friendless. Where did I go wrong?
Friendless, brainless. Do you know where I found you? Unemployed in Greenland. Tony will be back next week for unboxing. We got a couple of packages to open and some other surprises too. Won't you join us? And now take a look at this. How's it taste?
Tastes like shelf beef. Beef that's been on a shelf. It's fine.
Happy Easter.